We're going to talk about food that causes inflammation. Inflammation is the number one enemy of active aging. And it's that low level inflammation we don't even know we've got. It's called IgG inflammation, and it's this very low level inflammation that becomes a part of our lifestyle, and we don't even realize we've got it because we don't feel awful. We just started to feel less wonderful than we used to feel. So a lot of people talk about, oh my God, I used to have so much energy and, I just don't have that same kind of like joie de vivre anymore. Well, it could be low level inflammation. So we're going to talk about the foods that you might want to consider eliminating so that you can lower inflammation in your body. Now, remember, the number one thing you want to do is always start with hydration. Hydration is that important. It is the link, it is the thing that holds all these things together. It helps lower inflammation, it improves sleep, it helps manage your appetite, it helps improve your mood, it helps give you more energy and more pliable muscles. Hydration is that important. Every single metabolic process in your body uses water. So, bringing down inflammation starts with these inflammatory foods that many of us have in our diets, and we don't even realize how inflammatory they are. So, those are things like added sugar. So, when you read a label about sugar, there's two lines there's total sugar and added sugar. So total sugar, like if you were eating an apple would doesn't come with a label, but it would have a total sugar amount of naturally occurring sugar. So the naturally occurring sugar in most foods is fine. It's the added sugar that gets us in trouble. So we're all eating way too much sugar in our diets, and that sugar is creating inflammation. And this low level inflammation is linked to every disease you never want to get. So, neurological decline, certain kinds of cancers, the list goes on and on. So, eliminating things like sugar, artificial ingredients. So, just because there are chemicals in food doesn't mean chemicals are food. I know that's hard to kind of wrap our brains around. Why are food manufacturers allowed to put chemicals and dyes and preservatives and artificial ingredients in our food? That's a whole nother situation. Just know that your body was not designed to eat chemicals. And when you eat chemicals, your body doesn't really have any way of dealing with them. So, very often, those chemicals get stored in your fat cells and they contribute to this low level inflammation. So, sugar, artificial ingredients, artificial sweeteners fall in that category. I'm sorry if you're a sweet tooth, but artificial sweeteners do a couple of really bad things because they are so much sweeter than natural sugars. They actually create sweet cravings. So, eat sweet, crave sweet. That's why people who drink diet soda gain weight. They have more sugar cravings because of the artificial sugar that they're consuming. So stay away from those things. Stay away from um, pastries, goodies. All of those high gluten foods help create inflammation in your body. So we should be really careful about the kind of refined carbohydrates we're eating. So it's okay to be eating some whole grains. It's actually good for you. Those are good carbohydrates. But refined carbohydrates like pasta and bread and pastries, things like that turn into sugar in your body, spike your blood sugar, and contribute to low level inflammation. There are some other things. Unfortunately, conventional dairy is linked to inflammation. So if you like dairy, I happen to like a little cream or milk in my coffee. Just remember, stick with full fat because skim milk is processed milk, and we want our foods as minimally processed as possible. So, whole milk, Buy the organic, whole cream, have a little bit, it's good for you. You can have whole milk yogurt, that's good for you too. These healthy full fats from organic products are very good for us. But conventional dairy can create inflammation. The animals weren't even raised in a kind way, so the stress of their hormones ends up in their food products and then they end up in us. So eliminate the added sugars, the artificial ingredients, the refined carbohydrates, the conventional dairy. Watch out for things like corn. Corn is one of the most corn and soy and conventional wheat are all very processed and all linked to inflammation. So those are some of the foods. You've got a PDF to print out that will help you. Alcohol is inflammatory, and those coffee drinks we love that we get at our favorite coffee shop, sometimes they contain a lot of stuff like pumpkin spice flavoring, things like that. That creates inflammation. So step one, when we look at nutrition, is what can we eliminate easily that might be creating inflammation, because that inflammation is linked to weight gain, it's linked to stress, it's linked to disease, it's linked to poor sleep. And we want to feel better, but more importantly, we want to be healthier inside our bodies. And we want to teach our grandchildren healthy habits around food too. So print out your list of inflammatory foods, pin it on your fridge, and start there.